The reality you perceive is an illusion. You are not truly present in the moment you are experiencing, and things are not as they appear. Your brain is responsible for constructing your reality in real time, modifying your memories as they occur, living in distinct temporal dimensions, and narrating a story about the world that feels genuine. This opening sets the stage for a fascinating journey. It's not just about perception. It's about how everything you experience is a constructed story your brain tells you. Reality, in this sense, is more of a best-guess simulation than a live feed. Vision may be our primary means of gathering information about our surroundings, yet our actual visual perception is quite limited. Only a small, thumbnail-sized portion of your visual field is perceived in high clarity, while the remainder remains out of focus. It's kind of wild to think your ultra-detailed, panoramic view of the world is largely an illusion. Your brain stitches together a sharp reality out of mostly blurry input. If this doesn't resonate, it's due to your brain employing an impressive trick. Each second, your eyes execute 3 to 4 rapid, jerky movements called saccades, each lasting about 50 milliseconds, shifting focus from one spot to another. This scanning of your environment allows your brain to compile different sharp images. During a saccade, your brain cleverly pulls the plug on your vision for a split second, kind of like closing your eyes during a bumpy ride, just to spare you the blurry chaos. Consequently, every day you experience approximately 2 hours of complete blindness. That's right, 2 hours of blindness, and you don't even notice. Your brain is doing cinematic-level editing without you ever being aware. Those brief moments of visual blackout are quietly patched over with your mind's best guesses, filling in the blanks as if nothing ever went missing. However, it does even more. You are not perceiving time accurately. Consider what happens when you stir milk into a cup of coffee. The spoon hits the ceramic, and the reflected light takes 1.3 nanoseconds to reach your eyes. The ceramic vibrates, generating a shock wave of air that travels to your ear within 1.2 milliseconds. The heat is detected by nerve endings in your fingers, sending a signal to your brain in 50 milliseconds. Sounds simple, but each of these sensations arrives at your brain at slightly different times. Yet you perceive them as one cohesive moment. Rather than experiencing them separately, you perceive them as a seamless, simultaneous moment. Your brain takes a moment to process this information and then fabricates a reality, a present moment that is not genuinely real. Your now is actually a compilation of very recent past events, carefully stitched together. It's kind of like watching a live stream with a short delay, except you never notice. Your present experience is somewhat akin to the future. Imagine for a moment that you are a professional table tennis player. This example is brilliant because it shows how predicting the future is necessary for high-speed activities, and how we do this every day without thinking. By the time your brain processes where the ball was just 100 milliseconds earlier, the ball has already reached you, making it impossible to react in time. So, your brain calculates the ball's location, speed, and trajectory to predict where it will be by the time the information arrives. Your brain literally invents a future reality for you to interact with. It doesn't just guess, it prepares multiple futures at once. Then, just as your opponent is about to swing, your brain selects the most probable future and discards all but one possibility. You experience only the version that emerged victorious, never the alternatives. Which means multiple versions of you exist for a split second, ready for different outcomes. Only one gets to be you. Mind blown. Walking is time travel. After your match, as you walk home, it seems like you are choosing your route and responding to your surroundings. However, your brain is simultaneously functioning in 3 distinct temporal dimensions. You're not just living in the present, your brain is dealing with the past, present, and future all at once. It's like being in a sci-fi movie without realizing it. Before the signal from your foot making contact with the ground even reaches your brain, it has already instructed your foot to take the next step and has calculated the muscle movements for the next 2 steps. You're always a step ahead, literally. Your body is acting in the future, while your awareness lags behind. Even more fascinating, your spinal cord and brainstem respond to emergencies before your brain even knows there is an emergency. It's like having an autopilot system with lightning-fast reflexes. You don't consciously avoid falling, you're saved before you know you're slipping. Are you merely a prediction of your brain? Why do you perceive the world in the way that you do? Here's where things get really personal. It's not just your external world that's constructed, it's your internal world too. Feelings of hunger, energy levels, and especially your emotions are not merely objective reactions to your current state. They are predictions. This explains why you feel hungry at the same time every day, or get tired just before bedtime, even if your body technically doesn't need it yet. If your brain remembers a previous party where you felt anxious, that memory influences your current state. Your past literally writes your present emotional experience. It's predictive processing at work again, this time on your identity level. Does this lead you to feel like you're merely a passenger, compelled to experience whatever your brain anticipates? But wait, you are in control. Fortunately, it's not so simple. While your brain and various organ systems make many decisions, they act more like butlers managing the busy work. That's right, you're not just along for the ride, you're the CEO. The butlers can act, but you define the long-term vision. Your conscious mind excels in long-term planning and abstract reasoning. It is the storyteller that narrates your life to your brain and to yourself. You are the aspect of yourself, capable of editing and crafting new predictions within the system. This is a powerful realization. If you can change the story your brain tells you, you can literally change how you experience the world. It is a narrative so compelling that you perceive it as undeniable reality. Final thoughts. This video takes us from a basic understanding of perception to a transformative insight into the self. The illusion of now isn't just a cool science fact. It's a gateway into understanding how much power we have over our own reality. If this exploration shifted your perspective, even just a little, consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. It helps more curious minds find their way here, and it lets us keep diving into questions that challenge how we see the world. Because sometimes a better reality starts with simply asking, what is real?